What's going on, everyone? It's Simon, and today I'm excited because we're talking about my camera kit for chasing fall foliage. If you've been following me on Instagram at Simon Eisenbach, you know that I've been chasing the fall foliage around the Northeast a little bit. And with that, I've had to pack a lot of my stuff differently than I normally would because of the fact that I'm shooting out of the car, then shooting when I'm hiking, and hiking different amounts of gear. And so I need to be ready for whatever the heck is going to happen with whatever gear I'm taking with me. So how am I packing it and all of that stuff? We're gonna get into it right now. I'm still using my Shimoda Designs Explorer 40. Love this bag, and I have the plus straps on it, which gives me a lot more padding for when I'm carrying multiple tripods, the slider, the whole 9 yards. It's been great. And on the outside of it, I've been keeping my SATCOM device, which is the Garmin InReach Mini. It's a fantastic little device, and not only for emergency situations. I've been using it to communicate with my mom when I've been sleeping off grid because, you know, keeping my mom not paranoid about where I'm sleeping and if I'm okay has been huge. But also when I'm out, I'm able to mark my points where I am when I find a good photo spot. That way, even if I don't have cell phone reception, I can know where a good point is that I might want to go back to one day and get some good photos. And so that's been great in multiple uses. I'm really starting to learn this device, and it's just such a versatile little piece of kit. Yes, it's expensive for what it is, but at the same time, nothing beats the safety and security of it, and also just the different uses that I'm finding for it has become a wonderful thing. Also on the outside, normally in the pocket on that same strap, I would keep my RX100, which we are filming this video with right now. So it's just nice because that way if I'm hiking and I don't want to have an A7 out, I have something that I can snap a good photo with, and I really love the image that comes off the RX100, so it's great to just have it handy. And then in my other pouch, I have my Cliff Bars, my gum, my stuff like that I just want handy just in case. The usual pack out, if you haven't seen my normal pack out kit, link to the video above, you'll get to see kind of how my bag is generally, so you can get the nuanced difference of why I'm packing things differently now. Normally on the outside of my bag, I'm also carrying at least one tripod if I'm hiking in, sometimes 2 tripods, 3 tripods, and my motorized slider. I also have been carrying the 360 camera a lot lately, which has been awesome because I'm able to get some really unique BTS shots, hiking video stuff, which is great because I don't have to think about it. I can just hit record and let it go, or snap a photo and then I can reframe it later. It just makes it really easy in the moment where I can focus on what I'm dealing with, which is usually hiking in sometimes some sketchy little areas, or when I'm at the top of the mountain, I can set everything up and then think about the BTS, or I can have it going while I'm setting up without having to worry about, is my framing perfect? That's the outside of the bag. All right, on the inside of the bag, I'm using the Shimoda small cores, which is different from my normal pack out where I was using a medium core. And the reason for that is I'm not carrying the same amount of equipment, but I also need a lot more versatility. I'm not carrying my 24-70 and 90 macro when I'm hiking out to locations. So it's been super nice just having less gear because I don't need it. I've been shooting really mostly during like brighter parts of the day, occasional sunsets here and there. So the way I've been packing out more is usually it's my A7 III attached to the 70-200 in one of the small cubes, and then in the other small cube I have the 16-35 2.8, the A7R III, and the 24-105. And the reason I went with the 24-105 is there's been a couple hikes where I really did not feel like taking the 70-200, and so using APS-C mode on the A7R III, I still have a really large file, but I'm also able to get to about a 150mm lens equivalent, which is great for getting a little bit further without having to carry more kit. It's been a fantastic little setup, and part of why I decided to go with the small cubes is I'm able to go from hiking mode to car mode really quickly. And so what do I mean by that? Well, the Shimoda cubes come with a nice little sleeve that I'm able to take the A7R3 24-105 and 16-35, pull it straight out of my backpack, put it in the little sleeve, and bring it up in the front of the car with me. So that way, if I'm driving, I can pull over to the side of the road and quickly grab a photo and get some shots that I wouldn't necessarily otherwise be like, hey, I don't feel like going and digging the camera out of the back. It makes it a whole lot easier for me to do that kind of thing. So again, just making it so it's easier for me to shoot and be able to bounce between the way that I'm doing things. What else am I carrying in my bag? Well, I'm always carrying the NAR box because it's great to be able to back up whenever I am out. I've also got my filters. I've been using the Breakthrough Photography Magnet ND system. This is the 1.0. I know they're working on a new setup. I've also got my Simod Lens Variable ND. These have been with me pretty much all the time. I've got my Peak Design backpack strap, or camera strap. That way, when I get to the top of the mountain, I can keep one camera on me at all times. If I'm doing time lapse with the other one, I can be shooting other things around it. Also, I always keep a first aid kit on me now. Ever since I took a wilderness first aid class, I've really become much more aware of the importance of having some sort of first aid because you never know when a situation is going to happen. So being ready with just a small basic kit for my day hikes has been a great add to the bag. I do have a beefier kit that's been staying in my car, and if I go out for an overnight, I do bring that beefier kit just because bigger situations can happen. I know a big situation can happen on a day hike, but I don't necessarily want as much stuff of each type of thing like band-aids and stuff like that, which I do have more of in the bigger kit. And so that's really what's in the main core of the kit, the bag. And so that is that part. Also on the outside, I keep a hero clip. This has been wonderful for when I've had to weigh down tripods with the camera bag. I'm able to just clip this onto my bag and then hook this onto the tripod, which gives me that little extra stability if I'm doing a time lapse in a windier area. I think I've got a BTS photo here, so you can get an idea of what that kind of looks like. It's super, super handy. All right, so now what do I keep in the bag? In the top, we've got this little compartment in the top of this bag, and this is where I keep all of my little accessory stuff. Always keep a headlamp. I usually am carrying 2 with me if I'm doing a sunset hike. If I'm not planning on doing a sunset hike, I'll only carry 1 with me. But I definitely always have some sort of light in case I get stuck out in the dark. Spare batteries, you always have to have spare batteries on you, just because you never know when a battery is going to die on your camera. Spare memory cards, same thing. There's been a couple days that I've been doing a lot of time lapse, and when I'm using the A7R3 to do time lapse, it chews through space. So, I mean, there was one day I shot almost 400 gigs worth of data just shooting time lapses. So having those spare cards, the Platypod Ultra has been in my bag as well with a small little ball head. Again, just in case I want to do 2 time lapses, even if I was only planning on doing 1, or if I get in a situation where I need a camera in a funky position, always super helpful. Air blower, keeping stuff clean, because especially with the way that the climate's been, it's been kind of dirty, so, and dusty and that kind of thing, because it's been a fairly dry fall. So just having the blower so I can get the air blower so I can get some dust off the lenses and stuff like that. And I have had a couple situations where the sensor got some dust on it, so I was able to clean the sensor while I was in the field. And then just multi-tool, super, super handy. Just again, being ready for whatever might come at me. And then the last thing that I don't have in the bag right now that usually sits in this like front pouch would be spare layers. So like if I'm hiking when it's hot during the day and I'm gonna go sunset, keeping like a mid layer like this that's a lighter one, or if I know that it's gonna drop a lot in temperature, taking multiple layers so that way as the temperature drops, I'm able to stay warm, because you don't want to start getting cold and hypothermic while you're out hiking. That's just bad news bears for everyone. And then last but not least, I've been carrying water different ways. So there's been a couple times where I've hiked with water bottles and I'll just put a water bottle pouch on the side. There's been a few times when I know that I've been carrying a lot of gear a lot of distance, so I'll actually put my Camelback into the bag and carry more water than I would be able to carry with a water bottle, so that way I've just got plenty and don't have to worry about that. This is the way that my kit's been set up for the past month while I am chasing the fall foliage. I'm getting ready to go back into doing some corporate work for a little bit, so my kit's going to be going back to the normal kit and setup. So I just wanted to go through this a little bit so you get an idea of what it's like as I've been bouncing around the Northeast. It's been a handy little setup. I love it. It's been nice and nimble because I'm able to get whatever it is that I want. That's all I got for this video. Be sure you are subscribed, and if you're not, hit the button down below and hit the bell so you get notified every time that I upload a video. If you have any questions, leave a comment or hit me up on Instagram at Simon Eisenbach. Be glad to answer them for you. Other than that, have a great week. I'll see you guys next time.